Hello, this is Heather Marquez from Action Coach MindLinks. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are going to be talking with Purvis Williams about his nonprofit, which he started right about the time that COVID started. So we're going to actually talk to him about his journey. We talked to him way back then, and there's lots of things that are different now and that have changed. So we're going to get some updates. But to kick it off, as Purvis talks about Project Ready, Purvis, tell us a little bit about what Project Ready is.
Project Ready is a community outreach organization that I started right around the time, it first rolled out right around the time when COVID first struck. And at that time, we wanted to do something to help the youth in our community. So we created an adoptive senior program. Project Ready was created to, bridge that gap in our community, put on different events in the community for our youth, for our families, as well as eventually providing after-school programming, summer programs, and mentoring services for our youth and families in the community.
Okay, so who is your target market with that particular nonprofit? Who do you serve the best?
We've had a very, very great impact with our youth between the ages of 12 to 18. They have been our really big target. And then we wanted to do something for our adults as well. So I created an event this year. It was our first annual event. We're going to do it again next year, kind of like give the parents a break too, and get them to have a little bit of fun as well. So we created an adult prom for the adults.
Nice. So when did that happen?
That happened in April of this year. We had a live band come in from St. Louis that performed that Friday and Saturday. And then we did the adult prom at the Elks Lodge. Okay,
so everybody needs to mark their calendar for next April and reliving your prom days. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
I'm curious, when we first met, you were just really hatching this idea and starting to build it out. Where are you now versus then? What's been the biggest change in the organization?
The biggest change and where I am now is the growth that that my organization has taken on. When we first started, we did the Adopt a Senior program to give back to those students who couldn't have that normal high school experience. So we did the senior prom for them. We did pictures. We did an open house. And we reached about 800 kids with that.
Wow.
800 kids in 6 different counties, I could say. And it has just been a major impact. We have created the Summer Soul Classic Parade that is in conjunction every year with the North End Arts and Music Festival and Marching Against the Darkness. So we do that in conjunction with them every year to kind of keep that tradition going of having a parade in the community. So that has been very, 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 very good.
Awesome. So it sounds like you have some really cool things that you've been doing. What's next? What's coming up?
Right now, we're working on our second annual adult prom, as well as we are in the process of finding a building to kind of do some housing out of, to do the after-school programs and the summer programs.
Awesome. So now that you've been entrenched in this for a little while and we're sort of out of all the trouble and challenges that COVID provided, what do you see as maybe some of the biggest lessons that you've learned over the last couple of years running this organization?
Some of the lessons that I've learned, it is great to build those relationships with businesses in the community. It's great to have those business owners to fall back on for help and guidance. We don't know everything, and to have people in your corner who actually believe in you and believe in your mission um, is very, very rewarding. So that has been a big lesson for me.
Very cool. So would you say now is the biggest challenge that you're facing running a nonprofit?
The biggest challenge I have right now is funding and finding those businesses or people in the community that want to become sponsors or donors. And we try to make it worthwhile for our sponsors and donors. We advertise their business and everything that we do for marketing, t-shirts, anything that we do. We like to give thanks to our sponsors and donors. So right now we are working on building those relationships to find more sponsors and donors.
So how does somebody get involved in your program? So maybe it's a teenager. How do you find the teenagers that you help?
By word of mouth. I am on Facebook. They reach out to me on there. I know this year we took a break from the adoptive senior to kind of see how things would go. But we have so many kids that are interested in doing it for the 2023 school year. So eventually that group will appear back on Facebook for the Adoptive Senior 2023. And that way those families and those kids can join that and we can get them adopted by people in the community.
Awesome. So what kind of investment does it take to adopt a senior?
So normally how it goes is that senior will will make a post about who they are, who their family are, their goals and accomplishments, and what their plans is after graduation. And someone in the community essentially adopts them to get them something to show them that the community supports them. And it can be anything from a gift card to balloons, candy, a gift basket towards your dorm room, anything like that.
Now you talked about the reach that you have for how many students. So like what schools are they from?
So when we first started, I was thinking that, hey, we're just going to get kids from East, West, Expo, and Columbus. And that turned out not to be the case. We had kids from East, West, Expo, Columbus, Cedar Falls, Waverly, Dyke, New Hartford. We had some from Cedar Rapids. We had some from Des Moines, Don Bosco. They came from all over.
Wow. So this really is a bigger community project, not just our little community, but it expands much bigger. That's pretty exciting.
Yes. And when I started it, one of my friends was inspired by it. So he started one in his hometown, which is in Indiana. And it was a really, really big hit.
That's awesome. So what's your vision for this nonprofit? How many kids do you want to be able to serve?
I want to serve as many kids as I possibly can. We want to make a difference. We want to bridge the gap in our community. We want to give our kids something to do. So, of course, we want to find a building big enough to hold them to where we can do those mentoring and tutoring and after-school programs, summer programs. Even over the summer, taking them on trips and during the school year, college tours and helping them apply for college, apply for jobs, getting them ready for that life after graduation.
So what are some of the impacts that you've seen from this work that you've been doing so far?
A lot of our kids have met some very, very good mentors through this. When we did the Adoptive Senior program, Um, some of the community members who adopted these youth, um, it surpassed just that one event. They still are in contact with these students. They're still mentoring them and pushing them. So it's building those relationships with people that you probably would never meet.
So why is that mentorship so important? What's it going to ultimately do for our community?
Make our community better, make it stronger, build those relationships. That mentoring piece is a big piece for everyday life. I have met some great mentors along my journey through this, and they are still there. They're still helping me. Even if I have those questions, I know that I can still reach out to some of the mentors that I've met. That it just gives you that push to keep going.
I love that. I would totally agree. I look back and think about the mentors I had and what a game changer it was along my journey for having those people versus if I hadn't. And I hope that everybody hears me when I say everybody needs a mentor. Whatever that looks like for you, you've got to find somebody that's gone before you, that's had those experiences to help you navigate, and also sometimes be your advocate or your champion. And, you know, we all need somebody rooting for us in our corner, right? So mentorship helps with that quite a bit.
Yes.
So
yes.
If you had one thing that you could ask from the community to support your endeavors in this, what would it be?
What I think would help is, financial support. Given those sponsorships and donations, we have different levels of sponsorship packets for business owners as well as individuals in our community that would like to help, that would like to support and help us put on more and more events within our community. By this being a nonprofit, we don't get as much money as most people think. A lot of things come out of the pockets of us, our board members, different things like that. And that community help, that community push really, really helps.
So where would somebody go in order to get involved, whether they want to be a sponsor, a donor, if they want to volunteer and be a mentor? Where would they go to figure out how to get involved?
We have a Facebook page called Project Ready Community Outreach. You can look us up on Facebook. There's contact information on there for us. There's pictures and videos of the different events and activities that we've put on. And that's a great way for any and everyone to stay in the loop on what's going on with Project Ready.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your big vision, like 10 years from now. What do you hope that Project Ready looks like?
10 years from now, I would hope Project Ready can be the stepping stone to building a better and brighter future for our kids in Waterloo. Not even in Waterloo, in the Cedar Valley as a whole. Building those relationships, bridging the gap within our communities, giving different opportunities for our youth to grow and to advance. Just being that positive outlet for them, as well as bringing those families together, doing family events, just that support and that love.
Love that. That is so awesome. So what else haven't you said about Project Ready that maybe you want everybody to know? What else is there that we should know about it?
Project Ready is an organization based off love and helping one another. We are currently in the process of revamping and rebuilding our board of directors to kind of help make sure that everything runs smoothly and help come up with our 5 and 10-year vision plan. So we are currently in the process of looking for people who would like to sit on our board of directors. We are working to put on many different events. We are planning events for our youth. We're planning events for our adults to kind of give them that break. So it is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful organization to be with.
Awesome. What advice would you give to somebody who is looking at starting their own nonprofit?
Keep going. Don't give up. The road might seem very, very tough when you first get on it, even after you've been on it for a while. But don't give up. Keep going. Keep having that dream, and keep following your vision.
I love that. So true, not just in the nonprofit world, but in the small business world. Every day has its own challenges, and sometimes you just have to keep going and bust through the wall, because success is just on the other side of all those hardships.
Absolutely.
Love it. Awesome. Well, Purvis, thank you so much for being a part of this interview process. And again, if you could remind everybody how they get involved with Project Ready, I'd so appreciate it. So where do they go again?
You can go to Facebook and look up Project Ready Community Outreach. You can follow us on there and keep track of all the different activities and events that we have planned. And if you are looking to potentially be a part of our board of directors, you can send a message on there as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.